Hey guys, we're doing something a little bit different here. Hopefully, I didn't scare everyone that the intro is not playing. Before we start this stream of Frost versus Vandals, we got a big announcement to make. If you haven't heard the news, Nemesis is now partnered with Epic Games, and you guys can support Nemesis right through Rocket League by going to the item shop here and going to the top, click support a creator, and type in the code. Oops, if I can spell it right, Nemesis League, and you guys can support Nemesis through Rocket League anytime you purchase something using your credits. You can support Nemesis through Rocket League or any other Epic games like Fortnite or whatever else they have on Epic. You guys can support us using the code Nemesis League, which is kind of hype. Uh, so so yeah, if you haven't heard, that's the big news here. We got a fun matchup coming your guys' way here. Frost versus Vandals. Psychonautic and Matt are taking us with a blast from the past in this one. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy the games, and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League where the grind continues. We are back for our next match tonight, taking it to the Novice League. We have the first seed, Frost, versus the Vandals, who had to fight their way through the play-ins to be here. Actually, I'm lying. I'm completely lying about that. The Vandals came in at the 6 seed. They came at the 6 seed, slotted against the Spitfires, beat the Spitfires 4-1, made it into the semifinals to be up against Frost tonight. Your boy Psychonautic in the booth to bring you some play-by-play action for this game, and I'm going to be joined by the youngster around here. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for this matchup here. We might have a forfeit, which would be unfortunate, but if Frost ends up showing up, this is actually going to be a really close match.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because Frost at their full capacity is really scary. You know, they
Yeah.
dominated the Novice League. They didn't just barely take the number 1 seed. They took it hard. And Vandals, 6 seeds, not bad, but it's also at the low end of that spectrum. So, they had arguably an easy game against Spitfires, but this is probably going to be the hardest game of their entire playoff run.
Yeah, especially like you said, Frost being as dangerous as they are, if they're playing to their full potential, they're not making mistakes. They're pretty much unbeatable, in my opinion. But you did have Frost. They actually got here to the semifinals by a forfeit against Aurora. So they have yet to actually play a match here in playoffs. So I think the Vandals might have a little bit of like an upper edge there because of them actually playing matches.
Well, that's true, and I seen a couple of the Frost players talking in the general chat, and I think at least one of them had said that they hadn't touched the game in like probably 2 weeks. So there's a lot of stuff going on in some of the Frost players' lives. Their real lives having to handle the real business. So sometimes that type of things happen, and hopefully they won't suffer too much here from it, because I think that the last game that they played together as a team was actually the last game of the regular season.
Yeah, unless they've been playing like some comp threes or something together recently. But like you said, the player said he hasn't played in 2 weeks, so that adds up to about the last game of the season. So it's unlikely that they have played threes or something together at all. But possibly the other two Frost members may have been playing some twos and keeping the chemistry going.
That is possible. And while we wait for this last player to either get here or not get here, we can talk about the rosters of these two teams just a little bit. The roster of Frost is sporting Riotical, Sageburner, Ice Griff, and Ice is Fraggin. Now in the lobby here, we only see Ice Griff and Ice is Fraggin at the moment, so we're not 100% sure if it's going to be Sageburner who shows up or Riotical. But rumor has it that Riotical is actually during the season, I think, raised up to GC MMR. So if I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Have you heard anything about this, Matt?
Riot just actually joined the match here, so I think we might be getting going soon. But I
Oh
haven't heard
yeah.
much about that. But that is a huge jump going from, the minimum. I believe it's 915 for novice, all the way up to GC. So he went up like 600 MMR, 700 MMR. That's crazy.
Wow, yeah, that actually is pretty crazy. But let me just go over real quick the Vandals um the Vandals roster since I went over the Frost roster. We got Nitrous Oxide, Chancellor, Malo, and It's Time, which are all three some pretty good. They did a pretty good job against Spitfires. So since we're getting straight into this action, let me ask you, go ahead and get it for me here, Matt. What do you think is going to be the outcome here, Frost or Vandals?
It just depends what Frost team shows up. I believe I casted the Vandals and Spitfire match with you, and we saw Nitrous, Chancellor, and even Malo. It just seemed like they were basically spreading the wealth of just great plays and a lot of scoring. So, like I said, it just depends what Frost team shows up. If they, uh, wow, Riot's gonna end up missing that save. So right now it's looking like it's not the greatest Frost team here.
Yeah, that was quite an unfortunate save, and I'm not sure if Riot just got back from somewhere else and he hasn't had time to warm up or anything like that. But oh no, disaster for Frost as the own goal comes out. Nitrous Oxide gonna get a good kickoff and set his team up for a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and that's huge for Vandals here, especially being the lower seed against this Frost team. It's honestly probably the most important game here because it's going to start out whoever ends up getting like the momentum for the series. But we have seen throughout the playoffs, you have teams win the first match and then they just kind of throw. I guess you could say it might have been the nerves for the other team, honestly, but we've seen it happen where they either get gentlemen swept or it ends up just not going in their favor.
And we will see what the outcome of this is shortly. As oh no, again, Frost gonna get caught off guard. Nitrous sinking his second goal of the game.
And another missed save opportunity for Frost. It seems like they are playing a little rough here, if you will. Only a minute in, already given up 3 goals. This is not the Frost team that anybody is used to seeing at all.
Yeah, I agree. And we are going to see a fourth goal come out from the Vandals. Malo going to get his second goal.
And this is just looking like a blowout at this point. Already 4 goals in the first minute and 5 seconds. So if they continue at this pace, they're going to end up just absolutely dominating this first game.
Yeah, and I mean, even if Frost is able to shut down their scoring at this point, coming back, getting 4 goals is going to be pretty big task for them. So we'll see if they're able to pull anything out and get themselves back into game one. Chancellor going to take one. Sage gets in front of it. Sage gets a second touch and a third touch to send it out. Ice Griff popping it to the mid, but Malo's going to take it away from him. Nitro's trying to get a redirecting touch, misses it. Sage bumps into his teammate, but does get the ball out from it in front of his net. As Chancellor sends it back to the mid. Riot's up. He makes the touch, sends it down. Sage trying to get the redirect, but Nitrous touches it. Ice Griff pushed up a little bit far, has to get back to the ball. Sage missing his touch in the corners. The ball gets sent over. Riot's waiting. Riot and Sage pinch as it gets sent down. Sage gets it dunked off the top of his car. Ice Griff misses his touch. Nitrous is there to put it on, and Riot almost missing the touch, but it does get saved away. Ice Griff getting the touch, sends it to the mid. Sage is there, but he can't get it through Malo. As we reach the halfway point of game one, Vandals haven't been able to score again, but they are up by 4. Matt, this is not looking much better for Frost.
Yeah, they had a really rough first minute. It seems like they somewhat have turned it around. They haven't gotten anything really started on offense, like goal wise, but they have actually stopped the Vandals from scoring, and they've kind of stopped the bleeding here. So that's huge for them, especially going into the next few games. If they're able to do the same thing and just not have basically a breakdown, then I think they can completely turn the series around.
Yeah, and it could very well be that both Sage and Riot had to take it to the limit as far as their time. They got into the lobby just in time to start the game and not have to take a forfeit. So this first game might just very well be them warming up, not even trying to win, thinking that they can just give Vandals, one win and still make a comeback. But we'll see, as we have less than a minute 30 seconds left on the clock now. Riot getting a pinch to the mid. Sage is there, takes the shot, but Chancellor with the stop. Riot's flipping in the corner, but Ice Griff's going to come take the ball. Bounces it off the sidewall to the mid. Sage is there. The mistouch comes out from Frost. Ice Griff trying to get it around the Vandals. It gets popped up into the mid. As we have a minute left on the clock here now, we're still seeing, Matt, quite a few of these errors come out from Frost. So I think that they're still sort of getting their sea legs in this match, if you will.
Yeah, it's been a pretty rough first match for him here, but hopefully, like you said, this is just Riot and Sage actually like getting their warm up in, because if this is them actually playing to, I would say, their full potential, which I don't believe it is, but there is a chance that it could be, and if it is, then I think Vandals have this really easily.
Yeah, if Frost keeps playing like this, Vandals may even be able to sweep, but Riot gonna stop the blowout, stop the bleeding with 21 seconds left on the clock.
It's not impossible for them to make the comeback, but it's highly improbable, especially here with 21 seconds. But that's good for them to actually kind of recover this first game, ending it with a goal. Could possibly add on more, but I think that's huge for them momentum wise.
Yeah, I definitely agree. At least they were able to get lucky. Two goals from Riot within, I think, 15 seconds of each other. And that is, like you said, may give him some momentum and Frost some momentum moving into game 2.
Yeah, and this is exactly what they are looking for here, especially after all the bleeding that happened in the first minute. Them actually being able to start something here on offense near the end. Not going to quite be able to make the comeback, as it was a little late for them to kind of start up, I guess, their play and their momentum and stuff. But hopefully, for their sake and for the content's sake, they're able to pick it up, go up another notch, and actually compete in this series.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And we see Riot leave the lobby. He might be changing his car, getting into his groove, doing what he needs to do. All these players sometimes, I'm sure Matt, if you're into sports at all, sometimes players have weird rituals they need to do. I don't know about you, but I like to triple flip reset 3 times before every game.
I could only dream about hitting a triple flip reset. I can barely hit one. Uh, I'm not much of a freestyler, but that's actually a pretty good way to warm up, or especially going for a triple, as even a double is pretty tough for most people. So it still seems like Riot's not quite joining back yet. It looked like he might have been having some ping issues in the game. As remember when we had him flipping in the corner, it looked like his ping might have been spiking.
Yeah, that's true. That could have been what was going on there. And also, Frost just used their tactical timeout a little bit early, but I think that they are trying to buy as much time as they can for Riot to be able to sort out some logistical issues on his end, or technical issues, if you will, on his end. So hopefully they have 60 seconds from pretty much now. I think that they're a couple seconds into it, but Vandals, hey dude, they came out firing. They were hot that game, and Frost, weird pun, but they were cold. I'm interested to see what happens moving forward in the game too.
Yeah, they seemed like they had some ice on their wheels, but that was a really bad pun. But anyway, Vandals, like you said, that first minute, they just came out firing. They did exactly what they needed to. They got opportunities, they finished them, and we've seen a lot of teams struggling with that throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and we'll see if Frost is able to get things going, as they have only a couple seconds left on this tactical timeout, and they're gonna put in Ice's fragging over Riot. I guess Riot wasn't able to figure out his latency issues, and so they're gonna go with the sub as their tactical timeout has ended. So we're gonna get into game 2 here. Vandals up by 1 in the series. The ball drops to the midfield. Ice Griff up for it. Can't find the double. Ice is, I guess I'm just going to call him Fraggin instead of Ice, since we have 2 Ices on the field. Fraggin makes his touch but can't find it out of the corner. Ice Griff puts it out to the mid. Sage goes for the 50, but it doesn't go in his favor. Fraggin trying to get it through the defense, not able to. Sage going to slow things down, try and get control. He does. Ice Griff takes it off the top of him, trying to push it in, but it's not a good enough shot. But Fraggin going to come and clean it up for Frost.
Yeah, 75 miles per hour. That was a big boom shot, I guess, but that's actually very quick, especially from their side of the field. Very tough for the Vandals defense to save, as you did see it did sneak through there. This is exactly what Frost needs to actually start up something here in this game too, especially after the rough game 1.
And Sage with some big defense right there, finding the save and trying to get the clear, but Vandal's doing a good job of keeping the pressure on. Fraggin with the save. Puts it to the mid. Ice Griff puts a bouncer on, but Chancellor gets in front of it, sends it up to Nitrous, trying to go for the redirect. He misses. Sage tries to get it out, but Chancellor keeps it in. Chancellor trying to find the angle, but Fraggin going to get in between him and the goal. Malo keeps the pressure alive for Vandals. The ball gets sent to the mid. Ice Griff can't get it out. Chancellor goes for another drive, but Fraggin able to get in front of it, make the stop. Nitrous puts it to the mid. Ice Griff is up. The double comes out from Frost. Will they be punished? Sage is back, but Ice Griff gets credit for the save there. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left on the clock. Ice Griff trying for another one. It hits post, but Sage there to clean it up.
And there you go, Frost now up by 2. Like I said, this is the momentum that they need, especially after game 1, as Ice Griff definitely, going for the pass there. That's exactly what he had in mind for Sage, because he wanted him to get in that groove and he needed to get the warm up in. So I think that's what it was.
Quite possibly, but we're in a move forward regardless. With 3 minutes left on the clock, Frost now up by 2, playing quite a different game. Fraggin doing a good job of filling the shoes of Riot so far. Fraggin puts it out to the mid. Chancellor gonna bounce it off the backboard, but Ice Griff gets the touch in front of it. Sage is gonna 50 a dangerous ball. It goes in his favor, but Nitrous gonna keep the pressure for Vandals. Fraggin able to push it out to the side and get it over the halfway mark on the pitch. Sage gonna get 50. It pops up. Ice Griff trying to get a touch on it, can't find it. Fraggin missing his touch on the backboard. Ice Griff pops it up to Sage. Nitrous gonna keep it alive for Vandals. Nitrous coming out of the corner, but Fraggin takes it away from him. Malo there. Malo again gonna put one on. Ice Griff's awkward. He can't stop it, but Fraggin comes in behind with an amazing. Oh my goodness, no tragedy.
And that's exactly what you do not want to happen after a very clutch save by your teammates. Just unfortunate for Sage as he starts trying to rotate in to help his teammates in the net because he might have been the only one with boost there. Just unfortunate. Uh, I'd say a great shot by Chancellor if he meant to hit it off of Sage there, but uh, just an unfortunate own goal for Frost. It doesn't really hurt him in any way as they're still in the lead, but still 2 minutes left. That could come back to hurt him as
Oh,
Mallow is going to get the save, and Nitrous
oh
is
my.
there to get the other save.
Holy moly, Frost is just doing it. They're putting it on strong. But Vandals, oh my goodness, Chancellor gonna take advantage and get the double touch.
Yeah, and a nice double touch by Chancellor. He didn't try and make it too complicated. Did a few spins there, barrel rolls, and he's going to end up laying it in and tying this game up. So it seems like that own goal may actually come back to hurt him. Still a little under 2 minutes left. And the way Frost is playing, I don't think that own goal really will hurt him, as they have actually been putting on a ton of pressure and they've had many opportunities.
Yes, yes, they have. As long as they don't get too shaken up from getting tied up, they should be able to hold solid. As we wait to see which team will find the first goal. Minute 21 seconds left on the clock. Ice Griffin Sage with the double. It doesn't work out for him. As the ball gets popped up, Sage is there. He turns on it. He puts it down, but Nitrous trying to get the clear. Fraggin misses his touch off the side, leaves it for Ice Griff, who's going to follow. Ice Griff with the second touch, but it gets batted away. Chancellor going to get it out, gets it past Sage to the mid. Ice Griff trying to get a shot on net, but it's going to bounce off of the Vandals' car. Malo puts it out to the mid. Sage going to get a banger. Chancellor's there to bang it back off the backboard. We know this could be dangerous. Fraggin gets up, puts it to the side before Chancellor has a chance to follow that up. As Chancellor pops it out to the mid. Malo staying with it, staying hype, trying to get it through, but Fraggin big comes through big with the saves. Ice Griff pops it up. Fraggin trying to follow, gets bumped by the defender. Malo is going to secure his savior medal for this game. 20 seconds left here on the clock before we go to overtime, Matt. This is looking intense.
Yeah, and it's been pretty close basically this whole game. You did have Frost who had that 2 goal lead, but Vandals have actually come back to tie it here. As in 3 seconds, we could have an overtime, but Ice Grip is going to have last chance, and Malo's going to clear it out, and it's going to end up dropping here for overtime. I think Frost honestly has the advantage here as they've basically been controlling the ball on Vandal's side of the field throughout that probably last minute or so of regulation.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. And they were pretty commanding in the beginning of the game, the first half of this game. However, Vandals have been able to. Oh my! Chancellor is going to go ahead and end it right there and give Vandals the second win in the series.
And right as we were saying it, Chancellor's gonna come in clutch for the Vandals, and he ends up getting his hat trick to carry Vandals to the win here in Game 2. And if you're Frost, this is a very dangerous position to be in, especially against Vandals, as they may have been, I believe it was a 6 seed, but they are still a very dangerous team.
Yes, yes, they are. And as we saw in their game against Spitfires, they were not playing around. Spitfires was one of the top teams in the regular season, and although Spitfires didn't have one of their top players, they're still quite formidable. And Vandals just sort of, it was like child's play to them. They just straight took it to the hole and made the Spitfires feel it. And we've seen so far that they're taking on the same mentality with the number one seed Frost.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need to do, especially against Frost, as uh, they can be a very deadly team. They can score quickly, especially if they play as they usually do. Unfortunately for them right now, they have a sub, but uh, Fragan actually did the best there on the team score wise. So, especially as a sub, that's a pretty good performance for him. Both teams are actually fighting to get in the grand finals right now. So, we'll have to see what Frost is able to do to try and make the comeback.
Yes, we will. Frost haven't made it this far in the playoffs with having to do virtually nothing, as their first round was a forfeit from Aurora, as we've already mentioned. But that might be, hinting at why they're a little bit cold right now, why they're a little bit rusty, if you will, not trying to make the. But Sage is going to clear it out. Malo to keep the pressure for Vandals. Icegriff with the pop. Radical's there, but it gets doubled by Sage and doesn't go anywhere. Malo putting it off the backboard. This could be dangerous, but the double comes out from the Vandals, and the opportunity's dropped. Icegriff puts one down, and it is going to go in. Frost now up by 1.
A great job by Icegriff to put that on target, and a great heads-up play by Riot, able to get the bump on Nitrous, stopping him from having any chance to save that shot, as it kind of rolled in a little slow, so he had a good chance to end up getting there to save it. But a heads-up play and a great overall start for Frost.
Yes, I agree. The defense, or the field awareness required by some of these players that are attained by some of these players is quite astonishing at times, as that, as you said, was quite the heads up play. We'll see if Riot is able to carry this momentum for Frost as he follows it off the side, gets the double touch off the back, can't find that angle. Icegriff also not able to get the touch he needs to follow it up. Sage is going to 50 through 2 Vandals. Riot puts it up. He's there for the double. He's going to hit it, and he looked good doing it.
And he just basically showed us an example of why he is now a peaking GC. So he's able to basically completely control that air dribble, and he's going to double touch it in, able to get that nice angle up from the top there. And if you're Vandals, especially at the novice level, you're really not used to those kind of shots.
That is very true. And even for GC, sometimes that angle is really, really hard to stop. You have to really know that he's going to be able to hit that angle to be able to react fast enough. You have to sort of guess that that is where he's going to be shooting it at. But regardless, it is what it is. Now, Frost up by 2. Sage with the big demo, but Nitrous Oxide going to make the save anyways, as he clutches up big for the Vandals right there. 3 minutes left on the clock. Vandals still down by 2. They can't let Frost build any more momentum, and they need to get a goal on the board. Chancellor having to make the 50, but it's going to bounce all the way back to Vandals zone. Icegriff gets it past 1. Sage is up. He can't get it through Nitrous. Icegriff looking to regain control. Icegriff down to Riot. Riot pre-jump just a little early. Icegriff might still be able to get it in. Yes, he finds it. The awkward angle, but the third goal for Frost comes out.
Yeah, and there you have it. They're up 3 now, still half the game to play. And unfortunate that Nitrous actually got stuck on the post there. I believe he may have hit it and put him in an awkward situation where he wasn't really able to control where he went. So it kind of just left it open for Frost, and especially this Frost team. You cannot leave an open net for him, as I'd say basically every single time they would make it.
I don't disagree. And aside from game 1 and 2, they have proven that to us. Though game 1 and 2 did have some circumstances for them that they weren't able to overcome. They've been showing up in game 3, and I'm sure they continue to, as Riot does get demoed. Chancellor taking him out of the play. Icegriff with the touch up to Riot's back in it. Riot trying to follow out of the corner, can't get it through Nitrous. He gets pinched all the way across. Sage puts it off the sidewall, but isn't able to follow, and Vandal's going to try and get it out. Icegriff keeping it in. Nitrous sends it all the way to midfield, able to get his savior medal. Malo puts it up. Malo trying to follow, but Riot to get in front of it. As Nitrous puts one on, it's going to be wide and not hit its mark. The ball bounces down. Sage is there. He can't get it in either. Ice Griff 50 with Chancellor, but it goes in Chancellor's favor. Riot to put it back in Vandal's zone. Malo misses his touch in the backfield. Nitrous to follow it off the sidewall, but Sage is there. He beats him down to Chancellor, who makes the save to Ice Griff, putting it back to the mid. Malo's going to clear it out. And a minute left on the clock here, Matt. Frost absolutely pouring on the offensive pressure.
Yeah, and it seems like Riot is really what they needed to actually get started here. As sometimes playing with a sub, the chemistry just it just isn't as strong because you're not used to playing with him. As Ice Griff's gonna drop one in, and that's actually his hat trick here. As they're now up 4-0.
And it's crazy to see that he has been doing so well. As we've said Riot's name quite a bit, it almost feels like he's been overshadowed. But Icegrove with the hat trick right there, putting his team on his back, coming through and all but securing the win for Frost in game 3. Riot getting to 50, almost able to find the second touch, but it doesn't go. Ice Griff to put it back in Vandal's backboard. Chancellor gets bumped, but he gets the ball over. Sage can't get it through. Nitrous on the backboard. Riot with the awkward touch. Malo's there to follow, though. Malo again in the corner. Hits it a little too hard as it's cleared all the way across. Riot waiting. Gets it past one in the midfield. Nitrous stops his advances, but Sage can't regain control of the ball. Ice Griff gets the touch to send it across. Ice Griff to follow a second touch off the sidewall to Riot, but he has to 50 with Malo, and it gets stopped. But it looks like, oh yes, Sage comes in with a burner.
And I mean, they already sealed the deal before that. Only 10 seconds left, but now it is 5-0 with only 4 seconds. So Frost is going to end up coming out on top here in game 3, as they really could not go down 3-0 in this series, especially with some of the issues they've been dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree there to a certain degree, but seeing how Frost is playing right here, right now, I would feel comfortable betting money saying that they could probably perform a reverse sweep on the Vandals. You know, I just think that we'll see in this next match. We'll see if Frost is able to take the next 3 matches, and then we'll know that they probably could have, as you know, the first 2 matches for them were kind of disastrous, to be honest.
Yeah, and especially now with Riot back in the lineup and not actually dealing with any latency issues or anything, it seems like he could have pushed them over the top, I guess you could say. But you still did have Ice Griff, who absolutely just like destroyed the lobby here, able to get 550 points and 3 goals here, 4 shots. So he's shooting a 75% accuracy, which that's pretty solid. Basically goes in almost every time.
Yeah, most definitely, and I mean, I didn't even realize that Ice Griff was such a big component here on Frost. I've always heard about Riot being talked about a lot. Sage I've played with in several seasons here in Nemesis, and so I know that once he starts finding his groove, he's someone to be feared. But now I'm starting to see why Frost clutched that first seed, because if they had those 3 a majority of the season, yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Like these guys are it in Novice right now.
Yeah, those 3 are basically lights out. There's not really beating them if they're playing to their full potential. It's already tough here, and it doesn't seem like they are playing to their full potential at the moment. But like I said, they're still making it very tough for the Vandals here.
Vandals, fortunately, though, having well, now 1 game advantage in the series, still have, you know, some fire, still have some juice in their rockets, if you will, and still very much able to stay alive in this and still win. Even they only need 2 goals, or not goals, excuse me, 2 wins, while Frost still needs 3. But it's gonna have to start here. Riot trying to get an early goal, but Nitrous making the stop. Nitrous to follow, gets it past Sage. Riot having a 50 with Chancellor, goes to the mid. Malo gonna get doubled on, and it goes through Malo. but Nitrous does make a save there on the backfield. Sage trying to play the bully play. Riot not leaving Frost's goal open. Played it back. Riot with the air dribble, trying to get it through. Sage was there to make the touch, but it does get blocked away. Nitrous following it up, getting an air dribble of his own. Falls it on the ground, gets the flick over Riot, but Sage sends it to the side. A minute gone by so far. Both teams still sitting at 0. Icegriff gonna get the first one, gonna put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, and right as you were saying it, Ice Grove is going to take advantage of the Nitrous being in somewhat an awkward position, as he would have had to end up going backwards to get that save there. A great dribble there by Ice Griff, and it's going to end up putting Frost up by 1.
If you're a Frost fan or if you're a Frost player, this is exactly where you want to be right now, and not let your groove get messed up that you formed in game 3. That was a lot of momentum in the favor of Frost, and they are continuing it here in game 4. Riot comes out of the corner, gets it to Icegriff in the mid. Icegriff with the shot, but Malo with the big save as Sage tries to 50 through, but Chancellor sends it all the way out. Riot in the midfield, can't find the second touch as Malo pops it up, staying in the midfield. Icegriff missing, but Riot able to follow it up. Riot gets bumped, can't follow the ball. Sage can't get it through. Nitrous with the big block. Chancellor sends it down. Icegriff backflip, makes the blocking touch, but Nitrous keeps it alive for Vandals. Riot gets it bounced off by Chancellor. Chancellor trying to follow it out of the corner. He takes it from Sage as well, but he can't follow the ball. Malo going to get flicked by Riot in the backfield. Riot can't get it through. Nitrous in the midfield, but Sage trying to find a breakthrough. Malo pops it all the way back up. Icegriff sends it to the backboard. Riot backboard again. This could be it. Sage could be up. No. Nitrous gets the touch instead. Sage stayed back. Found the 50 with Malo off of Frost's backboard. Riot makes the touch. We're halfway through the game now. Frost still up by 1, Matt, but Vandals are starting to gain some momentum here. They're starting to get out of their half.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed to do, especially after the early goal by Ice Griff. It seems like they've played very solid defense besides that, as they've only let through that 1 goal so far. Vandals do not have a shot yet, and we're 3 minutes into the game, so it seems like Frost is still kind of controlling basically the whole game, but Vandals have, like you said, are actually starting to get some momentum here, just not quite able to put anything on target yet.
Yeah, Frost still doing a good job. Oh, Malo with the big save right there, as the ball got sent straight to the middle of his net. Riot putting it up, and that's going to float straight over the defender.
And it was kind of a weak hit, but it's still going to work out for him, as he basically just blooped that ball in. An awkward save for the Vandals, and they're not going to be able to get a touch on it. Now Frost up by 2 with 1:30.
Yeah, they are hard pressed now. They are going to need to turn on the afterburners and really give it their all, because if Frost wins this, they're going to tie up the series. Nitrous putting one on, almost perfect placement, but Sage narrowly getting back to it, finding the save. We see Frost double commit right there, but no punishment comes from it. The ball gets left. Nitrous can't get it past Riot. Riot taking it to the corner. Chancellor trying to contest it. Sage bumps him, but Malo puts it to the side. Icegriff doesn't get the pinch he's looking for. Riot to follow this. Riot off the backboard, just a little too hard for Icegriff to get to. Chancellor pops it to the mid. Sage tries to get in front of it, but it gets through. Riot is going to send that one all the way down to Vandal's corner, as Malo's going to take it off of the backboard. 40 seconds left on the clock now. Vandals time vanishing in front of them. Their lead in the series coming closer and closer to an end. In the last 30 seconds here, we'll see if they're able to get any sort of goal going. The triple comes out from Frost, but nobody from Vandals there to take advantage, as the last 15 seconds is looking more and more bleak. They still haven't been able to find the back of the net. Riot keeping the ball from him. Riot putting it in front of their net. Sage is there. Sage misses his touch. But the ball has pretty much only got a touchdown now, Matt. And Frost is going to take game 4.
Yeah, and Frost is going to end up tying up the series here, which is exactly what they needed after the first 2 games not going their way, as they had some issues, some technical issues for Riot at least. But they still did a great job rebounding back and now tying up the series.
Yes, I agree. And Vandals just getting absolutely shut down in that game. They were barely able to get out of their own half. And even when they were only allowed to take 2 shots on the net, both being saved away by Sage. So these guys got to find something. They got to find something that they did in the first 2 games that they were able to keep such a good amount of pressure on Frost's end of the pitch.
Yeah, and especially against this Frost team, I believe you mentioned it, only 2 shots. You cannot end up winning a game against a team like Frost by putting on, I'd say, less than 7 or 8 shots minimum. As Frost is a very solid team. They are able to put 7 shots on net, able to sneak past 2. And the way that they play is so deadly that if you're not doing anything on the side of the field, they're going to make you pay.
Yes, they will. And we'll see moving here into game 5 if they are going to continue to make the Vandals pay for their mistakes, or if the Vandals are going to be able to figure out what they need to do to find another W against this Frost team. Riot going to find the touch in the midfield. The ball's popped up. Malo trying to send one down. Sage sends it back into the corner of Vandals off the backboard. Sage puts it up. Riot's there. Can't get a good touch on it. Icegriff is going to keep it from getting cleared. Icegriff trying to follow out of the corner, but Chancellor is going to break it up. Sage keeping it in the Vandals territory. Chancellor's up in the midfield. He gets the second touch, trying to get it through. Nitrous trying to get the redirect, but Riot going to clobber the ball out of there. Riot with the follow. He's going to take advantage of the open Vandals net.
And unfortunately for the Vandals, it seemed like they may have been playing a little bit too aggressive there, and nobody is back, and Riot is just going to lay it in. Unfortunate start for the Vandals, but great for Frost, as they're looking to end up actually taking 3 in a row here. It's still early, but they definitely do have all the momentum to do it.
Yes, I fully agree there. Vandals going down by 1 so far. Oh, almost going down by 2, but Chancellor getting in front of that one. Riot not able to follow up the touch in the Vandals box. Sage going to put a banger off the backboard. Icegriff can't find the touch to put it in as the ball rolls back to Frost zone. Riot comes off of his backboard. He's going to carry the ball across the midfield into the Vandals corner, into the Vandal, in front of the Vandals net, but it does get saved away. Icegriff trying to slow it down, but he gets Demo. Chancellor trying to put one on. Riot stayed back far enough to make the save. The ball gets sent back out to the midfield. Icegriff trying to follow. Icegriff gonna leave it. Riot's there. He pops it into the Vandals corner. He's there again. He's trying to get it to the mid. Icegriff's there to take the shot, but can't get it through the Vandals defense. 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Sage putting another one on, but Chancellor with another big stop. Oh my, Icegriff putting another on. Riot popping it up. Ryan trying to follow. It's off the crossbar. Frost just absolutely putting on a clinic right now. Not able to stop it. Matt, this is insanity. Vandals really have to get out of their heads and onto this field.
Yeah, the Frost had a lot of opportunities there. I'd say Vandals actually did a great job of staying calm and getting some of those clutch saves. Unfortunately for Frost, they did end up, I believe, crossbarring a few shots. It was definitely one for sure, but it's still going to remain a 1-goal game no matter how much pressure they were just able to put on.
Yes, it was. Vandals try as they might. Again, we're seeing a repeat from game 4. They're pretty much just getting shut down in their own half or in the midfield. And even when they do get it past the midfield, they're not able to mount any sort of offense. Malo pops it up. Malo trying to follow. He gets it past one. Malo's still there. He's not able to 50 with Sage as Sage clears the ball away. Nitrous comes off the sidewall. Chancellor gets the touch, but it gets popped up. Riot misses his touch in the backfield. Ice Griff there makes his touch. Riot to put one down. Nitrous with the save. Right out of the corner. The Chancellor pops it. Chancellor missing his clearing touch, but Nitrous there to help him out. Chancellor off the sidewall to put it to the mid. Riot to send it away. 1:30. And we're seeing, oh my, Riot, almost finding the upper 90. Sage going to miss his touch. Ice Griff, they keep the pressure going. But Matt, we're seeing pretty much the same game here. And I mean, I really just don't know what to say. Like, what are you seeing on your end from the Vandals? Are they do they appear to make any changes, or are they just pretty much playing the same game?
It looks exactly the same. Mallow only with 14 score here, or points, whichever one you want to say. And especially against a Frost team, you cannot have that happen where basically two of your players are doing absolutely everything. It looks like a complete replica of last game. Vandals only 2 shots, Frost again with 7. Only difference is that they only have 1 goal instead of 2.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're going to keep that 1-goal lead. And as the final 30 seconds wind down, Sage getting the demo on Nitrous in net, but Malo able to get back in time to make the stop on Frost's shot. As the last 20 seconds wind down, Malo's going to send down a prayer. This could be the last offensive chance that Vandals have. Nitrous in the midfield. Sage sends it all the way back to Vandals zone. Malo gets it away from the net. Riot's there to put on more pressure. Chancellor just trying to get it out, and the ball's going to touch. Frost is going to take game 5 and set themselves up in a match point.
Yeah, and it's now 3 in a row for Frost. They could possibly win 4 straight here, especially now shutting out the Vandals in all 3 of the last matches. So unless the Vandals actually change something up here, as it seems like they didn't last match, they're possibly going to get, I guess you could say, swept, but technically they did win 2 games.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they definitely, if they lose the next match, they'll have dropped 4 in a row. But as you said, they won the first 2, and it seems like they took about half of that 60-second break that we get in between games. And maybe they were just taking a second to sort of breathe and get out of their own heads and try and come back from this. This is the last chance that they have. It's either win the next 2 in a row or go home. And you don't want to lose out in the semifinals. Vandals have come a long way. They played a good season. It'd be a shame to see them go out so quickly. However, Frost is dominating this pitch as of right now, and this series is dictated by them. We'll see if it continues that way, or Vandals are able to turn it around. Sage is there for the shot, but it does get popped up. Riot keeping it in front of Vandals' net. Nitrous sends it to the side. The ball gets bounced off of Vandals' backboard. Ice Griff sends it to the side. The ball out to the mid. Nitrous looking like he doesn't have much boost to work with. Taking it slow. Gets it over Riot. Chancellor gets the clearing touch. Chancellor trying to follow in the midfield. He takes it from Ice Griff. Puts it off Frost's corner. Riot sends it out. Nitrous there to keep the pressure. But the ball gets sent back up to the mid. Riot with the touch in the mid. Sends it down. Ice Griff almost able to find the pass play. But he doesn't. Chancellor sends it out of Vandal zone. Nitrous to Chancellor. Chancellor to put that one on, but it's going to hit post and get cleared away. And the first real shot that the Vandals have had. Oh, Nitrous with the big save right there, Matt. But the first real shot Vandals have had at a goal in the last 3 games hits post. That feels bad, man.
Yeah, and especially not being able to score a goal in all 3 of those games. They had their chance to actually get a breakthrough there, just not going to quite be able to take advantage of it. End up putting it off of the post, which is
Oh.
unfortunate. And Riot with the nice redirect, I'd say a turtle shot.
Yeah, Frost moving the ball down as Riot does get. I don't see it going off, but that looked like a turtle shot to me. What an angle as he gets in front of that ball and just does his magic with it. Holy moly. And that's going to put Frost up by 1 in game 6. As the ball bounces off of Nitrus's car, Nitrus can't get it through Sage. He's going to take Frost's boost as he exits. Chancellor missing his touch in the midfield. Riot also missing his Sage, taking it slow, trying to get the fake on Chancellor, but Chancellor does take it away from him. Nitrus missing his touch in his own corner. The ball's up, Riot's there, and he's going to score those all day.
And there you go, Riot again, second goal of the game. A little over half the game left to play here, and it looks like Frost really wants to shut this out.
Yes, I agree. Couldn't agree more. I'm sure that they had to rush to get to the game. They probably wanted to end as soon as possible so that they can relax for the night. And that's what they're trying to do as we reach the halfway point of game 6. Frost still up by 2. Vandals trying to get something going as the ball floats in Frost's zone. Riot tries to get it on him, tries to get a flick over, but has to get help from Ice Griff, who sends it all the way across to Sage. He just tries to get in front of the net. Chancellor's going to put a prayer up, and it's going to go over the 2 Frost defenders.
And there you go, Vandals' first goal in 4 games. Frost has done a great job of keeping them scoreless, but the Vandals finally able to break through, cut this lead now in half. Forbidden Temple, who knows what could happen.
That's true. We have seen crazy things on and in the Forbidden Temple, but that is exactly what the Vandals needed. A little pep in their step as we have 2 minutes left on the clock roughly. They're still down by 1, and Frost doesn't seem to be letting up the offensive pressure. As Riot finds it in the midfield, Nitrus is going to put one up, and Chancellor's there, but he doesn't get the touch he needs. It pops up and behind him. Malo puts it back to the mid. Chancellor with a glancing touch. This could be it. Malo's going to sneak in and find the goal.
And that's exactly what the Vandals needed and what they've been looking for here in these past 4 games. Finally able to tie this game up, and now a little under 2 minutes, Vandals could send this to a game 7 if they keep this up.
Yes, they certainly could. We'll see if they're able to. Nitrous trying to make it happen, but Riot stays strong, stays on the defense, makes the save. Sage with the clear. Nitrous with an awkward touch putting in front of his own net, but Chancellor able to clear it away. Nitrous, oh my goodness, finds the downfield pass, gets it past Riot.
Wow, and now the Vandals lead 3 unanswered goals by them, and they now have a lead here in this game. First lead in 4 games, as another one is able to sneak past Riot here, and now Frost is actually trailing.
Yeah, and I think you called it there when you pulled out the Forbidden Temple. Everybody knows Ice Griff is gonna get it through 2 defenders. What pressure!
Wow, Ice Griff gonna end up 50ing that in, and he's able to get it past 2 defenders, like you said. Vandals able to take their first lead in 4 games, but Ice Griff is gonna say that lead will not last for long, as it's now tied up again.
Yes, it is, and we'll see how this moves forward. Are we going to see an OT, or is one of these teams going to be able to secure another goal in the final minute of regulation? Riot trying to do just that, trying to find the double, but it gets knocked down. Chancellor with the save for the Vandals. Nitrous to put it up in the mid. Ice Griff's going to beat Chancellor out, but Malo stays on the ground, tries to keep control. Riot takes it from him in the Vandal zone. Sage pops it up. Sage trying to get it through. It's to the mid. Malo sends it away, but Ice Griff keeps it in the Vandal zone. Last 30 seconds here. Sage trying to find one through, does find it through, trying to go for a breakaway, but Malo gonna get control of it. Sage taking it from him. Ice Griff trying to find a secret shot. Riot missing his as Chancellor goes up for the block. Malo sends it all the way down and gets demoed from behind. Nitrous gonna find a demo of his own to avenge his comrade as the last seconds tick away. We're gonna see an overtime in game 6, and I am dang excited.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. We've seen this kind of go back and forth here. Vandal's able to get 3 unanswered goals, but Frost was finally able to answer him and actually tie the match up. That's a great 50 from Sage, and it's going to end the Vandals season. Frost moves on to grand finals.
And just like that, Sage comes in balling, bangs it off the top of Nitrous's car, and sends it over the Vandals defender, who's pushed up just a little too far, and that is going to end it. Frost has just secured their spot in the grand finals, sending Vandals home for the season.
Very unfortunate for the Vandals as they had those 3 games that were pretty unfortunate for them. They weren't quite able to do anything against this Frost team. And Frost able to win 4 straight, sending himself into the finals now in a position possibly actually win $100 here and win the Novice League. They will end up playing the winner of Vikings and Ignite here. So we'll see how that one has to play out on Saturday.
Yes, we will. And I think it's going to be quite the grand finals indeed. But that's pretty much going to wrap us up here for this game. What a grand one it was. Frost coming through, securing the win, sending themselves to the grand finals. I had a blast. I hope you did as well. Matt, I appreciate you joining me here in the booth.
It's always a great time casting with you and just casting in general. It's a lot of fun here in these playoffs. And it's always fun, especially casting with you, as you are usually my main play by play man.
I try and do what I can for the community here, just trying to give back because they give me a place to hang out with some cool people, make some friends, and I love it. So I try and give back as much as I can. But as always, I appreciate y'all coming out and enjoying this game with us, allowing us to cast it for you. If you are a part, or if you're not a part of the Discord, join up. We got all sorts of social media, Twitter and YouTube and such. We got cool stuff going down, prizes, games, all sorts of fun. Have yourselves a good night, and we'll see you next time.